suddenly transformed into an evil male supporting character in Diane Van's story, but in the story, the male and female leads are consummated. The male and female partners are even discussing what to name the child. But the damn author, because he wanted Diane Van's story to be without tragedy, forced me and female number 3 to become a couple. On the wedding night, I suddenly heard the other person's heart. Finally caught my husband. Oh, my husband is so handsome, I want to kiss him. Husband, please keep me, imprison me, force me to leave. I am the evil male supporting character in the story of Diane Van, a star who is out of date and full of scandal. The good news is that I survived to the end and awakened from my past life. The bad news is, to have a perfect ending, the author forced me and female number 3 to become a couple. Female assistant number 3, Lam Mok Yuyan, stepdaughter of the Lai family, grew up in an orphanage since childhood. She is famous for her cruel heart and gloomy personality. In my impression, she did a lot of crazy things for the male lead. For example, marry me. There are rumors out there that she wanted me to cause less trouble for the male lead, so she sacrificed herself and used her marriage to force me to guard against me. I have prepared a divorce petition. As long as she feels that I love you, I will immediately disappear and live peacefully in a quiet room. The door was pushed open. Lam Mok Yuyan walked towards me step by step, carrying the strong smell of tequila. Her oppressive eyes made people feel like she was about to eat me alive. Is she planning to finish me off tonight for the male lead? I heard she has a basement dedicated to torturing people. Thinking about this, goosebumps all over my body. Are you cold? No, not cold. I shook my head. The short conversation ended, and the two strangers immediately fell silent. Lam Mok Yuyan's eyes were always fixed on me. I was insecure, moving my butt, thinking about whether I should pull out the divorce petition and accept leaving empty-handed to save my life. Finally caught my husband. Oh, my husband is so handsome, I want to kiss him. A voice suddenly rang in my ears. I was startled and looked around. There were only 2 people in the room, but Lam Mok Yuyan still kept a cold expression. Maybe I heard wrong? That's not right, it's clearly Lam Mok Yuyan's voice. I tilted my head, facing Lam Mok Yuyan's eyes. She frowned slightly and asked me, "What's wrong?" "Looks very normal." I quickly waved my hand, "Nothing. I've had a hard time today." "Do you want words?" As soon as it left her mouth, Lam Mok Yuyan's eyes blinked slightly as if confirming. As soon as I nodded, that strange voice rang out again. My husband took the initiative to invite me, my body and heart are all his. Hurry and hold me back, imprison and force me. I looked at Lam Mok Yuyan in surprise. Her eyes were big and round, sparkling like bronze bells. It was clear that she had never opened her mouth to speak. My brain rotated 364 times, finally coming to the conclusion, I could hear Lam Mok Yuyan's heart, but female number 3 wanted my body. I swallowed. I'll sit down and rest for a while. Maybe I'm hallucinating. Lam Mok Yuyan lowered her eyes, seemed a bit disappointed, strode to sit next to me, and came closer to look at her phone. It turns out that my husband listens to poetry so much, it's because I thought wrongly. That's right, now my husband likes Lu Nguyen. Netizens say that if you don't love, you will hate for future happiness. It's okay to hate a little now, right? Turns out she also likes to surf the internet. In a moment, how dare this entertainment news say that my husband and I are 2 lickers, finally becoming a couple. I will grasp any company sooner or later. Licking my husband alone is enough. My husband is my most adorable treasure, how can I say that about him? What? This sentence sounds strange. I glanced at Lam Mok-Yuyen's phone screen and discovered that she was actually watching entertainment news. Fingers swipe up, scroll down, report these marketing accounts. Report all. I remained silent, turned on my phone, and discovered defamatory news about my marriage. Today it's really less. A strange feeling arose in my heart. Lam Mok-Yuyen, I called softly. Thank you. Lam Mok-Yuyen finally raised her head. Thank you for what? I've been thinking about it, I said solemnly. You helped me with everything. If she hadn't used marriage as a condition to help me compensate for the huge amount of breach of contract, I would probably be entertaining my bosses right now. Whatever the purpose, she helped me get out of a difficult situation. I didn't mean to help you, the woman replied coldly, then quickly scrolled through her phone as if my thanks weren't worth her concern. If I hadn't heard her heart, I would have believed it. Husband, thanks. I like it so much. Tomorrow I want all entertainment news that mocks my husband to be taken down. Seeing Lam Mok-Yuyen sitting seriously, her long fingers tapped continuously on the screen. The evil blood of an evil male woman arose within me. Want to test if she really wants me? I directly put my hand inside her shirt. Her face turned pink, but she didn't protest. But when the critical moment came, she hurriedly ran to the bathroom. Soon, the sound of gurgling water mixed with the sound of clown breathing, difficult to distinguish. I lay on the bed tossing and turning. Lam Mok-Yuyen's heart's feedback told me how much she was restraining herself. Damn it, I can't hold it anymore, my self-control is so poor, I'm so excited. I don't dare imagine how much the woman in the bathroom is in a state of lust. Suddenly my throat felt a bit dry and I regretted teasing him. On the wedding night, Lam Mok-Yuyen slept on the sofa. In the dream, I seemed to see her pitifully, asking me why I didn't wish her good night. I'm dreamy and soft-hearted. Patting her head, comforting her, good night, wife. Lam Mok-Yuyen's ears turned red. She's so cute that she's dying. The next morning when I woke up, there was no trace of Lam Mok-Yuyen in the room. The maid said Tu Thursday came to the company early and is truly workaholic. And I'm lazy. Lam Mok-Yuyen gave me an unlimited supplementary card, I just need to eat, drink and shop. I admit that in the past, mocking the male lead as the female lead's canary was a bit egotistical. I completely put aside the idea of divorce in order to quickly strengthen my relationship. I often unintentionally tease Lam Mok-Yuyen. This lady is cold on the outside and hot on the inside, otherwise she takes a cold shower, otherwise she goes to the living room to sleep. I had no choice but to hug my pillow and go to the living room door to watch. She didn't expect that, as soon as she reached the door, she heard crying inside. Lam Mok-Yuyen marveled and had already prepared a divorce petition. He hasn't even touched his money, what should he do? B is too bad, should we completely eliminate it? Tonight, let someone assassinate Lu Nuyen. My hand that was about to knock on the door stopped midair. Dead, I said. Why did she hide from me these past few days? It turned out that when the divorce petition was discovered, it should have been destroyed sooner. Now I don't want her money. Lam Mok-Yuyen is still plotting. I carefully called out, wife, are you sleeping yet? No one responded. The wife is not moving. Reluctantly, I had to use my secret technique to mutter, wife, she doesn't care about me, it's so boring. Dad found a conclusion. A door suddenly opened. Lam Mok-Yuyen's eyes were slightly red, her eyes were a bit resentful. The voice is still cold, what's wrong? I tried to suppress my laughter and nodded seriously, there is something very important I want to tell you, related to our feelings. Lam Mok-Yuyen's hand tightened, you say it. About Lu Nuyen. I'm sleepy, I slept before. The door slammed shut. For half a second, I was a bit bewildered. I just want to say, now I don't like Lu Nguyen anymore. Damn, I forgot. She is allergic to the name. People in the office were crying again. It looks like it's definitely because of Lu Nguyen that she wants to divorce me. Wife, I didn't mean that. Can you open the door and hear me? Inside, don't listen, don't listen. You dance. I lamented, women are so difficult to coax. Well, let her calm down tomorrow and then talk. But I didn't expect Lam Mok-Yuyen to run to the company in the middle of the night, saying he had an important project and wouldn't come home for several days. The tabloids followed us and took this opportunity to make a fuss. Someone also took a photo of Hoa Lap Kwok coming to Lam Mok-Yuyen company. The photo was taken half an hour ago. The news immediately hit the front page. The title is Deep Love Can't Compete with Be-Love. Von Lam is at risk of being thrown out of the house. Below are a series of malicious comments. Coincidentally, Lu Nguyen texted, Von Lam, don't pay attention to that news. If you're sad, you can come and talk to me. I'm always your back. These past few days, she changed her number, changed the way she contacted me, and asked me questions. I just feel fake, block it. I brought a thermos box to Lam Mok-Yuyen company. Saw the male lead Hoa Lap Kwok in Lam Mok-Yuyen's office. As the male lead in Diane Van's story, even though he is married, he still has a pure and simple temperament. Two people standing next to each other look very compatible. On the way there, I could hear some employees secretly gossiping. This couple used to like Secretary Hua so much, now they are both married. What a pity, that's right, I thought they would become a couple. Who would have thought that Vong Tong would cut him off? To be honest, before Lu Nguyen rejected me, I also thought Lam Mok-Yuyen would pursue Hoa Lap Kwok. After all, they grew up together in an orphanage, childhood friends. During several storms, Hoa Lap Kwok only needed to look pitiful. Lam Mok-Yuyen would disregard everything, and fight Lu Nguyen. At that time, she was just someone who had just appeared in public, was scrutinized by all parties, and was in a difficult situation. But as long as it involves the male lead, she will stand up regardless of right or wrong. This unconditional favoritism for someone like me who lost his father and mother at a young age is the most desirable thing. Therefore, I was very jealous of Hoa Lap Kwok. I had to work very hard to get a little pity, but he got it easily. Even robbed. Now, I have to pay the price for my evil actions and want to live well, but it doesn't seem easy. It's okay, Lu Nguyen and I just argued a bit, we're in a bad mood, and I don't understand why I wanted to come to you to confide in you. Hope it doesn't cause trouble for you. I stood at the door, while Lap Kwok said with red eyes. Lam Mok-Yuyen turned her back to him and said nothing, but I heard him. You and Lu Nguyen quarreled, what does it have to do with me? You coming here is my biggest trouble. According to the news from the few remaining friends, Hoa Lap Kwok longed for freedom, was not willing to be the rich man's canary, and often had conflicts with his mother-in-law Lu Nguyen. Managing between them, gradually their strength became impossible for them. Looks like the news is true. Yuyen Ni, can you lend me your shoulder to lean on? No. If Von Lam knows I'll be tried again, I just don't want to. Yuyen Ni, what's wrong with you today? Hoa Lap Kwok's eyes were filled with tears, his voice was a bit stubborn. Lam Mok-Yuyen looks pitiful, making women feel soft when looking at him. Lam Mok-Yuyen still did not move, her heart was racing. What are you relying on? You talk as if I let you rely on it before. Now I'm a married person, don't get involved with my husband. I'm not that unreasonable type of person. I tried not to laugh, opened the door and walked in. Hoa Lap Kwok was like a startled rabbit and wanted to hide behind Lam Mok-Yuyen. Who would have thought that Lam Mok Yuyan would have guessed it, but those who avoided it only saw her calmly, resting her head on her hands and looking at me. "You're here without warning?" I held up the thermos box, wanting to surprise her, but it seemed like the wrong time. "It's okay, we just finished talking." Lam Mok Yuyan still kept a cold expression, her hand not in her pocket, clenched into a fist, revealing the confusion in her heart. "Husband, don't misunderstand." "Husband, I was wrong. Next time I will tell the security guard to recognize him and not let him arbitrarily enter the building." "Damn it, Assistant Laya was too lazy to poop, no one told me." "Absolutely do not let your husband discover that there are clothes that he has torn in the drawer." I was a bit amused but tried to hold back and pretended to walk towards the desk. Lam Mok Yuyan stopped me. I couldn't break in time, my nose hit her chest, it was so soft. "Are you okay?" "Let me see." Lam Mok Yuyan lifted my chin, her eyes meticulously scanning every inch of my face. "Even though I'm as thick-skinned as I am, I still feel a bit hot." Hua Lap Kwok had been abandoned for a while. Seeing this, he bit his lip. "Yuyan Ni, are you bothering me?" Lam Mok Yuyan gently rubbed my nose, without blinking her eyes. "Yes, I called Lu Nuyen to pick you up. It's probably time, so remember to close the door when you go out." "Yuyan Ni, Hua Lap Kwok's voice was full of disbelief. Previously, Lam Mok Yuyan and Lu Nuyen were clearly between water and fire, but now they actively communicate. What a strange thing. I looked curiously at Hua Lap Kwok, who was somberly walking towards the door. A clear voice rang out above his head. "Indeed, Lu Nuyen is a fox spirit. As soon as I mentioned him, my husband's kiss was taken away. No, I have to learn some tricks, otherwise how can I keep my husband?" Lam Mok Yuyan turned me around to face her. Undeniably, Lam Mok Yuyan is truly beautiful. At this close distance, the facial features are delicate, and there is a sad look between the eyebrows. The woman even deliberately leaned towards me, making me feel more clearly the feeling that makes people unable to keep their hands off her. I unconsciously swallowed my saliva and squeezed it twice. Think to yourself, what bland life did I live before? The atmosphere in the office, under my actions, gradually became shady. Lam Mok Yuyan approached, her eyes stopped on my lips, her eyes were deep. Lips look so soft. Last night I didn't come home and stole a kiss. Now I want to kiss you so much. I suddenly understood. No wonder these past few days I've woken up with my mouth open, but it turns out I sneaked back in the middle of the night to eat more. Yet on the outside, she still maintains a gloomy and cold appearance. I really want to take off that mask. Thinking about it, I pulled down the woman's collar, bent down and kissed her thin lips. Lam Mok Yuyan finally couldn't keep calm and gasped softly. There was intense emotion in his eyes. One hand held the back of my head, the other grabbed my chin, gently applying force. My mouth opened, easily occupied by S. While climaxing, Assistant Lai quickly pushed the door open. "General Lu, I heard that Mr. Hua is also here. I definitely want to see the woman." The woman who was interrupted, gave him a cold look, understood, and immediately told him to go away. His assistant manager disappeared like the wind, the speed at which he understood things made people feel heartbroken. At the same time, my phone rang, it was Lu Nuyen. I quickly turned off the phone, but Lam Mok Yuyan could still see it. Her eyes darkened and she clenched her right hand as if in resignation. "If you want to see him then go, I have to work as well." After saying that, she plopped down on her office chair, bowed her head and looked at the documents. I carefully observed her expression and noticed that her lips were stretched. "Then I'll go first." I turned around, just took a step when I heard from behind, "Ah." Husband, don't go. 2 steps, how can this damn mouth let her husband out? What if my ex-husband doesn't invite me to come? 3 steps, husband. I quickly turned around and rushed forward to hug the woman who was trying to hold me back. I smiled complacently. You lied to me. I don't want to meet her. Lam Mok-Yuyen's eyes immediately lit up. I continued to say, now I don't like him anymore. I also don't want to divorce you. I pointed to my lips. The first person to put a stamp here is you, so you must be responsible, and in the future it will also be you. The gloom on the woman's face finally disappeared, replaced by satisfaction. I can't hide it. How could my husband use this innocent face to say such deadly words? Do you want to kiss again? Lam Mok-Yuyen was stunned for a moment, unable to react. Okay, let me do it, again. I pulled Lam Mok-Yuyen's collar down. The cold scent enveloped me again. I don't know how long it took. I tried to separate and breathe deeply. Lam Mok-Yuyen used her nose to rub my cheek, her eyes gentle. Then let's go to the supermarket together. We're all out of vinegar at home. This is eluding. I looked at her red ears, smiled and nodded. That night, all the negative news about my marriage with Lam Mok-Yuyen disappeared. Instead, there were news about us being happy after marriage and going to the supermarket together. Some people started commenting to ship the couple of me and Lam Mok-Yuyen, the evil male supporter and the sad little princess. I like the domineering President V, the bright moonlight that sacrificed himself, but I didn't expect to lose my heart. Their appearance is very good, for my eyes. Decided to ditch. My friend in America sent a congratulatory message. Congratulations to our Von Lam for successfully subduing one of the 3 great evil girls. From now on, the 2 of you are evil doubles. I glared at him. This title of 3 great evil girls was voted for by us in college. Under the shine of the male and female leads in Diane Van's story, Lam Mok-Yuyen and I ranked first for 4 consecutive years. Truly an evil girl and evil man, this evil double killer name came from being teased by people on the school forum back then. At that time, under that comment, there were many people saying that shares could be shipped but not evil, but who would have thought that saying would now come true? I looked toward the end of the hallway, toward the office. Phuong Vien just told me a story. He said that in college, I was accused of voting fraud. In the end, the person who helped me find the lost ballot was not him but Lam Mok-Yuyen. She rummaged through a box of horns near the competition venue. At that time, out of jealousy, I actually wanted to bribe some people to vote for Hoa Lap Kwok's opponent, but they were all refused. However, I never thought of taking advantage of my position as a contest manager to intentionally lose Hoa Lap Kwok's votes. Truong said if I couldn't find the ballot again, I would be punished. That time I was very depressed, so according to Phuong Vien, the person who saved me at that time was actually Lam Mok-Yuyen. Suddenly my heart fluttered. What to do? It seems I like her even more. I went to the office. The door does not close tightly, leaving a small gap. Through the gap, I saw Lam Mok-Yuyen standing in front of the shredder, putting in documents page by page. Looking at the cover, it looks very similar to my divorce petition. It's gone. Nansang can't think about divorce. I just don't want to leave my husband. What's wrong? The woman stopped, her thumb gently caressing the wound on her lip that I'd bitten. Double killing villains is also good. I wonder if your husband will like it. Seeing this appearance of Lam Mok-Yuyen, my heart beat like a drum. I pushed the door and walked in. Wife, what are you doing? The woman was caught in the act and stopped, not daring to turn back. Wife, can you help me see if my new pajamas are beautiful? Beautiful, you haven't come back yet. How do you know if you're beautiful or not? I pressed close to Lam Mok-Yuyen's back. She immediately stiffened. While she was stunned, I quickly grabbed the divorce document that she was about to hide. Pretending to be angry, so you took it away? Lam Mok-Yuyen's face finally showed confusion. Von Lam, I heard you. I put my index finger to my lips. She doesn't need to explain, I already told you this place. I poked her heart. If you do bad things, you must be punished. After speaking, I pushed myself onto the sofa and leaned close to her ear. I learned a mage said at 30 to relax you. A soft groan was quickly heard in the room. The woman's hand pushed away, wanting to stop my even more outrageous actions. I was dissatisfied and warned, it's both a reward and a punishment, so you have to endure it obediently. Her cold white skin turned pink due to my touch. In Lam Mok-Yuyen's eyes, there was gradually a light of water, softly panting, pleading, "Husband, I was wrong." I smiled complacently, kissing the corners of her charming eyes. Do you have anything else to hide from me? It's a hoarse voice. I raised my eyebrows. What is it? Actually, I can't stand it one bit. Lam Mok-Yuyen suddenly sat up and blocked my lips. The emotions in her eyes were as thick as ink, not dissolving. I was squeezed tightly, the world was spinning, the active position had changed, this time I became the one being punished. The woman's temperature was frighteningly high. The scene before my eyes gradually became blurry. In the middle of the night, I thought I could finally rest, but the woman kissed my shoulder with a restraining kiss, covering my eyes. Sorry, husband, sorry. Fighting again. In the end, I underestimated her talent. What a pervert. Unlocked women are very scary, like opening the door to a new world. For nearly half a month, I haven't had a good night's sleep. Constant night sickness, unbearable. I told Assistant Lai to arrange for Lam Mok-Yuyen to go on a business trip. When the manager called, I was still catching up on sleep. Perhaps because of marrying Lam Mok-Yuyen, my luck changed. Recently, there has been a lot less negative news about me. The studio took this opportunity to actively market me, and job opportunities kept coming. Charity parties also have separate invitations. The scene is a bit boring. I went to the deserted sweets corner, just about to put a small cake in my mouth, when a familiar voice rang out from behind me. Von Lam. I turned around. Lu Nuyen, wearing a dark gray velvet dress, holding a glass of champagne, walked towards me. Why are you alone? Where is Lam Mok-Yuyen? I smiled fakely. My wife is on a business trip. Hearing me call Lam Mok-Yuyen my wife, Lu Nuyen frowned slightly, shook the wine glass in her hand, poured more and said, Von Lam, I know that I chose Lap Kwok has greatly impressed you. If you want to leave Lam Mok-Yuyen, I can help you. Resources. If you want, I can give it to you. Funny. Before, I was about to be murdered. No matter how much I begged her, she refused to help, but now I'm in a hurry to be a good person. At this time, a nearby potted plant made a rustling sound. Husband, don't leave me, without you I would have to live far away. But this time, I really couldn't help but laugh out loud. According to the rules I discovered during this time, Lam Mok-Yuyen's voice could be heard, proving that she was definitely nearby. Lu Nuyen thought I was smiling at her. I'm not kidding. Lately, Lap Kwok and I have been arguing often. Sometimes I think, he loves me like that. It's good to choose you. Lam Mok-Yuyen is not a good person, she cannot give him what he wants. I feel nauseous. One wake-up call, the bright moonlight brings home a life of food, clothes, and money. After that, it turned into cold rice and began to miss the mole again. What if my wife is not a good person? It's just that I'm not a good person either, so we're a match made in heaven. Lu Nuyen's face changed. Von Lam, don't cause trouble. Be careful, I'll leave you again. Having said these words with such a thick face, how could I not have discovered that I liked such a bastard before? Wow, I slapped him again. Don't think I don't know, in the past those negative news and malicious comments were pushed up by you. Give her 2 slaps in return, consider it even. After this, I don't want to see you again. I turned around and walked towards the potted plant, my right wrist was grabbed. Don't want to see me, all contact methods are blocked, and you still say you love your child. Von Lam, are you trying to tie me up? Very well, I'm hooked. Sick. Good Von Lam, I will make it up to you. The woman's eyes fell on my lips, her body gradually getting closer. I didn't feel right, a dark shadow flashed before my eyes, a force on my right wrist. Relax, accompanied by a crisp popping sound, and the sound of someone falling to the ground. I come to my senses. Lam Mok Yuyan rushed Lu Nuyen and fought. The attack was very cruel, like a stray cat lurking in the dark. Or you could say she was like that. Within 10 short seconds, Lam Mok Yuyan grabbed Lu Nuyen. In his dark eyes, filled with murderous intent. Hasn't anyone taught a woman to protect herself for her husband? Which hand touches him? This hand or this hand? Or both? Having finished speaking, Lu Nuyen's hand was twisted in a strange position by Lam Mok Yuyan, as if she would break it next. Lu Nuyen was squeezed until her face turned red, trying to escape the restraint. Lam Mok Yuyan, you're crazy. I'm a crazy person. Many guests and reporters immediately gathered around. I silently cried that something was wrong. Before Lam Mok Yuyan's slap fell on Lu Nuyen's face, I rushed up to hug her waist to comfort her. Lam Mok Yuyan, calm down. It's a public place now, she doesn't deserve you to do that. The woman was comforted and finally let go. Lu Nuyen fell to the ground, panting, her eyes filled with dissatisfaction. Hualap Kwok is late, he looked at Lam Mok Yuyan with complicated eyes. Yuyan Ni, Lu Nuyen and I have reconciled. Don't fight with him anymore because of me. Lam Mok Yuyan smiled coldly, her eyes cold. If you've reconciled with her, then take good care of her. Don't let her bother others. What do you say? Lu Nuyen won't be like that, is it Von Lam? Did he intentionally make everyone misunderstand? That's enough. I really can't stand his appearance anymore. He puts on a facade of honesty, but points his nose at me every time. Having done something wrong doesn't mean I can be arbitrarily criticized and accused. I pointed at the camera in the corner. The evidence is there. If it is fake, I will bear the consequences. On the contrary, what you just said defames me. I have the right to ask you to publicly apologize. My frankness was exchanged for whispers from those around me. I just saw that Mr. Lu was clinging to someone. That's right, I was slapped twice and still refused to let go. Not knowing the truth, I quickly said it was someone else's fault. Before, why didn't we find out that Secretary Hua was such a person? Hualap Kwok, biting her lip, looked at Lu Nuyen, but the other person was staring at Lam Mok Yuyan. Doubt in the back, don't care. Anyone with eyes can see the problem. He still wants to regain face. Poor, please pray for Lam Mok Yuyan. Wan Ni, what should I say? The smile on the corner of Lam Mok Yuyan's mouth grew bigger. In the future, if you have an argument with your wife, don't come to me randomly and ask to borrow your husband's shoulder. I will be jealous. Also, tell me a little more. I never did it for you. I love my husband so much, how could it be for someone else? As soon as the words came out, everyone was surprised, including me. The sentences filled in my head, she loves me very much. So every time she beat Lu Nguyen it was because of me. Hualap Kwok gasped, speechless. Only Lam Mok Yuyan calmly, gently caressed my face, asked, "My husband, he's tired, can he go home?" Under the continuously flashing flashlights, Lam Mok Yuyan reached out to me. At this moment, the favoritism I craved before seemed to have fallen on me. All the plot details in the movie where the tyrannical CEO is in front of this are all weak. My heart felt like it had an extra engine installed, beating wildly. Yes, I looked into Lam Mok Yuyan's eyes, held her hand, and clasped a lotus with my 10 fingers. On the highway, a brand new Maybach was speeding in the car. Lam Mok Yuyan held my hand and never let go for even a moment. Damn it, if your left cheek gets hit, it must be very ugly now. You're no longer your husband's beautiful treasure. I smiled and asked her, "Does it hurt?" "It hurts, go home and apply medicine for me." Lam Mok Yuyan slightly pouted, looking dissatisfied. "It hurts so much, I want my husband to rub it." I couldn't help but laugh, leaning down to kiss the corner of her lips. The woman from Lai Lai Market who was driving in front suddenly spoke up, "It hurts so much, boss, let's change direction to the hospital." "Lam Mok Yuyan," I burst out laughing again. No need, but because the boss was in a hurry to get to the party, the car almost overturned. If you have internal injuries, if you talk too much, the car repair fee will be deducted from your salary. What a cold and heartless boss. Unexpectedly, Lam Mok Yuyan and her assistant's way of living together would be like that. But assistant wife certainly didn't expect that the cold and heartless boss in his mouth was now grimacing and clutching the chair cushion. "I'm so embarrassed, I'll lose face if my husband knows about it. But being able to stop the fox from digging into the corner in time is worth it." This time I was no longer shy, lifted her face, gently kissed her, and whispered in her ear, "Wife, I love you so much." The woman's breathing immediately became disordered. The kiss fell, both urgent and chaotic, a special place. I was a bit shy and pushed her away, but I couldn't push her away. She specializes in wet sensations. She is making a mess with her tongue. I immediately went limp and fell into her arms. The air conditioner in the car cannot hide the gradually increasing temperature. She grabbed my hand, intending to hit her, kiss her, smile and ask for a ferry. There are more bad things, wait and see. Lam Mok Yuyan. After finishing work, Assistant Lai got out of the car and smoked half a pack of cigarettes. Spending the first tet with Lam Mok Yuyan, we went to the orphanage where she used to live. That place was abandoned, the walls were patchy, and you could vaguely see children's doodles. Looking at the somewhat familiar scene, I suddenly remembered that when I was young, my parents and I used to come here before they had a car accident. They loved to take me to charity orphanages. Later, because every time I remember them, it hurts too much, so these memories were gradually forgotten by me. Lam Mok Yuyan patted my head. "What are you thinking about?" I unconsciously replied, "I was thinking why you said sweet words today." Lam Mok Yuyan grabbed my hand and put it in her pocket to warm it. Looking a bit proud, I pouted, "It's not a sweet word. I was thinking if I saw you here when I was a child. But now I always have a headache remembering what happened before." "Then don't think anymore, don't say it too quickly." "Since when do you like me?" "The first time I came to do charity work, I was the loneliest child in the orphanage. Only you proactively come close, talk to me, share the little cakes he made." Lam Mok Yuyan reached out to stroke my bangs and kissed my eyes. At that time, I thought, I wish I could be with you forever. I raised my head to look into Lam Mok Yuyan's eyes and smiled brightly. "So, congratulations. Your dream has come true. Maybe I missed too much before because of my stubbornness, but fortunately, God gave me a chance to start a very long life again. I am confident that I will use the rest of my life to draw a perfect circle for the regrets between us. Lam Makian's foreign exchange. The first time I met Von Lam was on a normal weekend. He and his parents came to do charity work. Only he paid attention to me, not caring if I agreed or not, dragging me to a secluded place. Stuffing a small cake into my hand, grinning. "Don't tell anyone else. This is our secret. Keep it a secret and we'll give you more next time." At that moment, my gray world suddenly had color. I started looking forward to next weekend. After that, the boy's family encountered an incident. He and I lost contact. I met him again at university. He doesn't remember me. At that time, everyone said I loved Hua Lap Kwok to death. Actually not. He was just an excuse for me to approach Von Lam. I am the illegitimate child of a rich family, with low self-esteem, gloom, and bigotry. Basically, I don't have the courage to express my feelings to the boy I like, and I don't have the confidence to stand next to him in a dignified manner. Therefore, when he wholeheartedly loved Lu Nguyen, I could only appear in front of him as Hua Lap Kwok's childhood sweetheart. Only then will he have some interest in me. In my eyes, he is just a boy blinded by love. He will do wrong but will immediately regret it. Seeing Hua Lap Kwok crying behind his back, he will repeatedly confirm whether he is really being unreasonable. Only I know that Hua Lap Kwok is a hypocrite, pretending to be naive and weak. It's a trick he's been practicing since he was at the orphanage. As for me, I treated Lu Nguyen simply because of her anger when she made Von Lam cry. Later, God gave me a legitimate opportunity to marry him. Of course, I won't miss this opportunity. Why does it seem like my husband can read my mind? Could this be spiritual connection? When he found out, he prepared a divorce petition. Inside I was extremely panicked, but as long as I ran away quickly, my husband wouldn't be able to find me to sign. He came to the company again and explained that he didn't like Lu Nguyen and didn't want to divorce me. As for me, I learned this punishment from MT. I really like it. So how can I endure it? At the charity party, Lu Nguyen, that shameless head, dared to meddle with my husband. Of course, I had to give her a beating. I said, "It hurts, husband, it really hurts." He even kissed me, confessed his love to me, said he loved me. I was so excited, I made him cry. The shoulder has a row of tooth marks, gradually numbing. This is the medal of my husband's love for me. I originally didn't have much interest in this world, but fortunately, his appearance made my world brighter. Really love him very much. I vow to make him always the happiest guy in the world. That's the end of today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, after watching, you probably feel that life is a little brighter, or a little darker, CCCA. If you like this video, remember to click like to let me know. Subscribing to the channel is a matter of course. Don't let me make videos like punching listeners in the ears later. If anyone feels that this video is worth the price of a glass of milk tea, for example, don't hesitate to drop a few coins into this poor guy's account so I can have the funds to upgrade the video quality better, and have a few coins to eat instant noodles for the day. I promise to make more fun, better, and more capitalist videos, oh yeah. Support information is below the description of each video. Thank you everyone for listening. See you in the next video.